Hello and welcome to American Government. This is your welcome video from for both Folsom Lake College and Sacramento State. Hopefully this take will take me through a few semesters. I won't have to keep redoing it many times I do because you tinker and tinker and then things change. So I am your professor and host, Dr. Selby. And I like to say host because it keeps things a little more friendly. I want you to understand that one of the main things I want you to understand is that I am here for you. I really want you to have a good experience, a positive experience in this course, okay? It probably is a little bit different from what you're used to, but I'm going to take you down how this course works. It's nothing too crazy. It's actually very well constructed. I've spent a lot of time getting this course right where I want it. And it's pretty much there, still always looking to make things better, but I'm very happy overall with where it's at. Okay, so the first thing that you need to do probably is hit pause and go get a piece of paper. Why? As you notice here on the agenda, this welcome video is an activity, and what you're going to do is you're going to stop, get a piece of paper and pen, or pencil's fine, I don't really care. And you're going to make what I call the American Government one-pager. And the one-pager has all the key things you need to remember to be successful in this course. Now, what I want you to do is after we're done, I want you to post it in a place where you work a lot, like by your desk, so you can see it whenever you're working, and it's going to help keep you on track through the whole semester, okay? So after the video is done, you're going to take your one-pager, post it next to your workstation, and then, or on your fridge if you want, wherever you're going to see it and it's going to remind you about dates and things like that. That's what I want, okay? And there's a ton of scientific research on this showing that, having physical copies of things helps keep you on track, okay? So go ahead and hit pause and we'll get started. Okay, seeing that you have done that, what I want to start with is show you how to navigate the course, okay? We're going to start with that because this is really important. And the way that you navigate, the best way to navigate this course, as you see here, this is your home page. This is the Folsom Lake College homepage. The best way to navigate this course is down here, the course map. And you see these buttons? All these buttons are clickable buttons, okay? So if you have questions, click here. I just did right click, and go to will open it up. And here you go. It's got a bunch of extra stuff for you here, right? It's got, a bunch of stuff we're going to cover today, okay? Maybe you're looking at the weekly schedule. Look, starts today. Today is actually August 23rd. I published the website yesterday, but as I told you guys, I had one more day to get this welcome video done. I wasn't quite there yesterday. Open up Unit 1. Unit 1 overview. It's telling you what's happening in this unit. One more time, go to the weekly page, and now everything is there, what you need to do for the week in the page. You can and are welcome to use the modules link as well, which is where? There it is, up here. You can use the modules, but I think this is better than modules. Look at this. It's really broken down for you, everything in one place. Look at how the modules look. Okay, here's your start module. It's all linked out. Here's this module. It's fine if you want to do it this way, but I think this way is a much better, much more elegant way to navigate the course, okay? So this is one of the few small things I do that I think really makes this class much more user-friendly is my goal. Okay, so we're going to do the one-pager. What's the first thing I want to see on your one-pager? I want you at the top of your paragraph, page, front page, it's going to be front and back. Front page, what I want you to put on there is American Government. Oh, it doesn't say it here on the page, but American Government, Folsom Lake College or Sac State University. Below that, put Dr. Selby, basically making something like a mini syllabus, Dr. Selby. Put the office hours time, office hours on Zoom, Monday 9:30 to 11 a.m. Okay, this Zoom link here, you don't have to copy the link because it doesn't matter. It's not gonna just put link on Canvas homepage. This Zoom link here is both for our office hours, and we do have some extra credit. Well, sometimes extra credit, sometimes they're mandatory Zooms. We'll talk about that later. But there's some Zooms that like we kind of do live through the semester. This permalink is the link for that, okay? And then below that, I want you to copy this entire thing here, the course syllabus, policy paper module, Unit 1, Unit 2, Unit 3, okay? I want you to copy that so you see it, and when you look at it, it looks just like it looks on the screen. So it's going to take you a minute to do that. You probably want to go ahead and hit pause again. Okay, seeing that you have completed that next part of the activity, and you should have at this point not a full front page completely done, right? Maybe there's a little bit on the bottom there that might be helpful, but let's go look at our start module. It drops me over at the modules. Go to the start module. Whenever you have questions, you can go to the start module, and I have things linked in multiple places as well sometimes, so it'll kind of help speed you up. This intake survey is something that you've probably done already because it's the first thing that comes up on the intake. It is voluntary, but I ask that you do it because I'm actually testing you guys, and I have a paper I'm presenting at a conference in a couple weeks. Results from you guys won't be in there because it's only classes that I've completed in the past. But in about 3 weeks, I'm going to a conference and I'm presenting on paper on some of my teaching methods, and I'm trying to see how effective I am. Of course, you know that I'm, amazing. I have a sense of humor as well, guys. Okay, so, but amazing might be a little heavy, but I'm pretty good. I gotta give myself credit. I'm really not bad. I've been doing this for a while. I try really hard. I want to be there for you. I want to support you. I want you to have a good experience as well. Okay. Now, when we upload things, actually for this one you won't need to do it because the photo of it being uploaded in the right place is the more important thing. But we do a lot of handwritten notes and uploading, and you'll use one of these apps to do it. Okay. You don't have to write that part on your sheet. You could though. Okay, so again, this is what our homepage looks like. It's just reminding you, but look here, right? Notice again, dates, 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 key dates when things are due, okay? So that's kind of nice, but what's really important here? Okay, course textbook. So at the bottom of your one-pager, and if you want, you can go do this right now. There's 2 textbooks you need to buy. It's a textbook and a workbook, actually, okay? The textbook is just through globallyceum.com. Click it, go there. Here you are. It logged me in as me. Your thing looks a little bit different. But it sends you to the login page, and you use this course code, okay? All right? It's $49.99 for the textbook on Global ICM, okay? The second thing you need to do, which complements your textbook, which was written by me, is you have to buy the workbook, okay? Also written by me, okay? The workbook's pretty cool, actually. Most of our homework and weekly work is reading through the textbook, and then by hand, you follow along in the workbook, and it's got all these questions that help you understand what you need to be looking for, and sometimes even take you a little bit further in thinking about the reading and things like that. So it's got it all built out for you. And then you upload. That's where the scanner app on your phone is going to come in really helpful. But it's just like clicking photos. You go through the app, you click, 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 click. You upload to the link. It literally takes 5 minutes, okay? So it does take 5 minutes, but it's just a much better way to learn and teach, okay? And then, this weekly schedule is slightly off here. Let me fix that. Our weekly schedules this semester begin on Saturdays and end on the next Sunday. It just gives you a little bit of overlap there. The main deadlines are Friday and Sunday. Okay? So what's due on Friday? Things that are due on Friday are the big learning content things. Your workbook is due on Friday. If you have a video to watch, that's due on Friday. Those are the 2 big, and sometimes you might have some other activities. Those are all due on Friday. Your discussions and smaller multiple choice quizzes, those are due on Sunday. And that's what I want you to put at the bottom of your front page. This is the last thing that's going to be on the front side of your page. You're going to put Friday, workbook, videos, other big assignments due. Sunday, discussion, quizzes, other little assignments due. Okay? So I do that because I really want you focused through the week when you have attention working on those big assignments, right? Let's move my face back over here. Working on those big assignments. But through the weekend, you'll marinate, you'll digest a little bit, and then we'll have the discussions. You can have a little more time to get your quizzes done and things like that on Global ICM, okay? Quizzes are always on Global ICM, all right? Couple of small exceptions for more like fun time kind of quizzes that will happen, okay? So weekly activities, you know, some other things that we cover as well are here. But that's your front page now, right? You've got the basic course info, you've got the course map, and you've got the key weekly due dates, which are Friday and Sunday. Friday and Sunday. We want to keep that nice and strong in our brains. Backside, I want you to copy down the assignments and grading, okay? And yeah, there we go. I have that correct. And it looks like this. Is this all correct? Yeah, this is all correct. It looks like this. 10% for sort of easy breezy things, okay? So just write course expectation video, 1 meeting professor, and fun time ungraded surveys, okay? So not even the one I gave you over there. I have other fun time ungraded surveys. They're just there to sort of like pique your interest. 10%. What you really want to put under there is maximize this grade. Everyone should be able to get 10% on this grade, no problem. Because this is like, you just show up, you take notes on the video, you post your thing, you take your fun time quiz, you come to 1 meeting with me, you know, no problem, okay? Discussions and homeworks, not a ton of homeworks, a few written homeworks, like 2 or 3 through the semester, okay? Not a lot, but I bundle that into our discussion grade. So it's about 15 assignments. Sometimes I like tinker with things through the semester a little bit. It's about 15 assignments, 15% of your grade. Each one of those is about 1% of your grade. You should be able to maximize this as well. I'm not playing tricky with you on the discussions or anything like that. I want to see you do them. I want to see you do them well. And if you just put the time in, you'll get the grade, okay? And they're not super tricky. Sometimes I say, go Google some stuff and just, you know, kind of write it up and discuss it for the class, or just tell me your opinion, right? So they're really there to be kind of, to really enable you to be successful as well. Okay, the big assignment, one of the biggest assignments, 25% of your course, the workbook uploads, okay? So that's why you have to buy that Amazon workbook. But you know, the one thing that's kind of cool about it is you'll have a take home at the end. Basically, you'll have almost like a textbook yourself that you get to keep, and you just put it on your shelf, and you can think about all the good times we had together in class. Told you I have a sense of humor. Sometimes you do have a good time. I mean, I really won't lie to you about that either. But course workbook uploads, 25%. Under that, put the time in, okay? I grade them. I'm not crazy hard on the grading, but I need to see you using the answers from my textbook. Where you're going to go wrong is if you think you can like, oh, blah, 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 just Google this answer. You're going to be in big trouble, or AI or something like that. My textbook, my course, it's how I want to teach political science. There are multiple good ways and many more bad ways of teaching anything, right? This is my way. So you have to do it my way. My way means you get the answers from the textbook, okay? With that said as well, it's not necessary to like fill out every answer perfectly. If something doesn't really make sense, it's okay to do your best, right? And most of the time, as long as you're close, I'm going to give you full credit. And I'm not going through looking at each answer and like individually grading each answer. I like kind of go through, I'm looking, how you doing, read this one, read that one. You know, there's some key ones that are really important to me. Kind of make sure that you're doing the assignment in good faith. And if you can stay on top of it and just be doing a good job, doesn't have to be perfect, just be doing a good job, you're going to be able to get full credit on this, okay? So do it put the effort in. It takes time. It's also 25% of your grade. So that's good. Okay. Live Zoom uploads. So this also includes some other pre-recorded videos that I have for us. So, there you go. Keep that in mind. But there's some pre-recorded videos that I use every semester, and we'll have about 5, maybe 6. This does vary a little bit per semester. Live Zoom sessions where we get together and discuss, emphasis, discuss the material, okay? And even if you do not attend live, you still have to submit notes. I'll take the link, I'll put it up on the, on Canvas somewhere. I have a whole system here, but that's not too, no, worry about that. I'll put it up on Canvas, and you have to go watch it even if you do not attend live, okay? Sort of same protocol as far as other things. Take handwritten notes, click it with the scanner app, upload it to the link. And I expect you, whenever we have these types of activities, to really be checked in and present and not just writing like 1 or 2 words. If you do very minimalistic notes, you're going to take a hit on this one. But it's not that hard to sit there, pay attention for 45 minutes, take notes, and upload the notes. Okay? You have Global Lyceum weekly quizzes. Well, not every week, actually. It's only about 12 or even 11 weeks. So you do get some weeks off. I also curve that Global Lyceum weekly grade, so keep that in mind. Okay? At the end of Unit 1, in about a month, we have a short essay that you will complete online. It's done through the quiz function on Canvas. And what that means is it's just an essay quiz. You can take it when you want, but you only get one chance, and you got to go sit down, be prepped. If you look at the directions online on the homepage, it gives you some good stuff about that. And then, oh, that part does need to be upgraded. This part here has been shifted to some other similar, oh, that's your final, that's right, okay. So it's not really a public policy research anymore. It's some discussions that then end with a metacognitive essay. That's what I messed up here. So fix that. Final exam. And that's what it says on the course homepage as well, okay? So, and we sort of build ourselves up to that. At Sac State, that a little bit different than at Folsom Lake College. That's all second half type stuff, so we don't need to be too serious about that yet. Okay, so you have that written on the back, right, with all the percentages and everything, and some little notes for how to maximize it. And then below that, I want to see course policies. You don't have to write everything down, okay? But 3 very important course policies. 1, keep it positive, okay? I'm not interested in anyone saying mean things to anybody on the discussion boards or any place else, okay? It's not appropriate in a classroom or professional setting, so we're going to keep it positive. If you do disagree with somebody, of course it's acceptable to say, I politely disagree, or I sincerely disagree, or I view this from a different point of view, right? That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. And we're not going to debate a bunch of moral topics in this class either, okay? It's not really, this isn't really the forum. I know some classes want to do that in American government. If you want to have moral debates, you should take my political theory course, which teaches you how to actually have moral debates. It doesn't make sense to me why I would sit there and have you debate, all these, big sort of moral and ethical issues if I haven't even trained you on, like, what are different ways of approaching these questions, right? Like, just like in science, in philosophy, there's multiple sort of theories, and those theories kind of give you somewhat different answers when you're looking at things. Interesting, huh? You probably learned something already just from there. Okay, keep it positive. That's all you got to write. Be nice. Late work policy. So things that cannot be late are Global Lyceum quizzes, because it kills me when I have to reopen them for you, okay? Like, it absolutely murders me to have to reopen them for you. So if you want me to reopen a Global Lyceum quiz, you have to really be sick with a note, because I'm not going to, like, really, you got to have a note for that one. Or, I already had someone contact, he's like, hey, I got, orders I'm shipping out, I'm going to be like, I don't know, on a boat somewhere. Okay, that's fine, no problem, right? Things like that come up, no problem. But if it's, oh, I fell behind, I got a cold, something like that, you got to get your global ICM quizzes done. Other things, workbooks, video uploads, homeworks, things like that can be done late. Okay, it does hurt your grade, however. Okay, so once it's late, usually I'll give you a little bit of leeway. But if it's more than about 12 hours late, now we're in the box of like it's actually late. Then you take a 10% penalty right off the top. And then every 72 hours after that, you get another 10% penalty. Okay, so if it's due on Friday, if it's not in by Saturday morning, right? So usually deadlines are end of the day because I just figure, whatever, just do it end of the day. But if it's not in by Saturday morning, now it's late, 72%, 10% of penalty applies. Saturday to Sunday is 24 hours, Sunday to Monday, 48, Monday to Tuesday, 72. You hit Wednesday, it's another 10%. Then it's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you hit Saturday again, it's another 10%, okay? I will let you go back and make up work, but at the most you're going to get 50%. So I kind of apply that penalty until you're down to 50% credit, and then it's late, you'll get 50% credit. But, if you missed 3 or 4 assignments, it's end of the semester, you go back and do them. It's way better to have those 50% credits than zeros, big eggs sitting up there, okay? And then lastly, plagiarism policy. You're not allowed to use anything from the internet or ChatGPT without properly citing it, okay? Properly citing, and I have a plagiarism protocol we will look at. But one of the reasons why I transitioned your Unit 1 essay to being an essay that happens on Canvas is because too many people are just using AI, and I'm going to catch you. If you, even on your discussions, if you use AI, I promise you might get away with it once or twice, but then I'm going to catch you, and then I'm going to go back and I'm going to double check everything you've done in this course, and everything that I think is AI is just going to become a 0. So don't do it unless the assignment says you're allowed to do it. Okay? Unless the assignment says you're allowed to do it. And then you're allowed to do it, but then you still have to cite properly. Okay? That's it. Three important policies. Okay, so those policies need to be on the back side, and you don't have to have this in the back side, but I just want you to think about, to give you an introduction and understanding to how I'm teaching this course, right? And I know a lot of online courses, what happened, and especially through COVID, was we went to like 1 million activities where you had, 10 things, you had to checklist 10 things off every week, and you're kind of in scramble mode, right? We're not going to do that in this class. We're not going to be in scramble mode, okay? You have big things to focus on. Those big things are your workbook. Focus on the workbook, okay? And do it slow. It's good to do it slow. You learn better when you take your time and you go slow. That's why we call it slow learning. And then, oh, why do I make you do everything by hand? Well, click the links at your own time and you will go see why, okay? All the research clearly shows that handwriting, it's better for your brain, okay? It locks things in better, you learn better. So I'm only doing this because it makes you better. Second one, repetition. So, again, think about if you play music or sports or something like that. Coach explains something to you, or your music teacher explains something to you, but then what do? You repeat and you practice an activity a bunch of times, right? Coach, hits you a bunch of serves and you're playing tennis and you just practice your serve return for like an hour. So you need to get really good at that. That's repetition. You're learning a song. You play the song over and over and over again. That's repetition. That's a really important part of the learning process. So in this class, what we have is we have your weekly quizzes, your workbook, that's your base, that's the content we're trying to learn. Then you have global ICM quizzes that help you kind of think about it and go deeper. Discussions usually link with that, and then you'll have some kind of every 4 to 6 weeks, some kind of like reflective look back at the last 4 to 6 weeks of class, okay? And then lastly, the last learning principle that's important to me is metacognition. Metacognition just means thinking about your learning. Thinking about your learning. So reflecting upon your own process of learning. Okay? So again, rather than doing a checklist and, oh my God, I'm hustling and I just got to do all these things, I don't really see how they all add up, etc., etc., etc. In this class, you're going to be going slow, you're going to be going deeper, and hopefully that means that knowledge seeps in, like water seeps into the ground, right? It has to come down. It takes time for it to get down and into the water table, okay? Metacognition is part of that process of thinking about your learning and having another time around. How well am I learning this content? Does this make sense to me? And I'll just emphasize, I should put it as a course policy. I should emphasize again, I'm here for you, okay? So I'm pretty responsive on email. You know, I try to get back within 24 hours, which is about as responsive as I can be, okay? Now, the other thing, the last thing I want on your backside are the time expectations and the 3 rules to be successful. So, time expectations. In normal circumstances, okay, and in a class would be 3 hours a week of instruction. They're 50-minute classes, so it's really 2.5 hours, right? And then double that of homework, reading, whatever else is happening. Okay, so that's your at-home work. And then the way it works is if you take 5 of those, that equals 40 hours, and that's a full-time job. So it's all been, most people don't know this anymore, but that's how college has been constructed and working for 100 years, or at least close to it. So that's the idea. Now, I'm not going to give you 9 hours of work in this course. You might find it takes a little bit longer to get some of your work done for this course than some of your other online courses, and I say good, because I don't think you're learning anything over there, and I'm pretty certain you're going to learn something here, okay? So the average expectations might be a little bit high for this course, is about 7.5 hours, okay? Okay, so, oh, sorry, there it is. I said the wrong one. I was reading the wrong place. Most weeks in this course have about 5 hours of work, although some weeks might have more and some weeks might have less, okay? And in addition, the weekly schedule lists how long I think each activity will take. One of the good things about the way this is constructed, though, is, you know, if it's do the workbook, workbook's like taking a hike. Some people hike fast, some people hike slow or doing a run. Some people run fast, some people run slow. All I care about is that you finish. You're not graded on how fast you can get it done. Now, obviously, it's nice to you if you can finish faster. I get it, right? But if it's taking you a little bit longer, that just means you're learning and you're progressing. So that's a good thing, right? Like, I'm happy if it's taking you a little bit longer, because that means you're struggling, you're working hard, you're going to get better, okay? And then lastly, the 3 rules to follow to be successful. Follow directions, especially the weekly schedule. Do your work on time, and reach out early if you have any questions, okay? Seriously, communicate with me when things come up, all right? And then this is a larger thing on how to avoid plagiarism. We'll look at a little bit more later. It's also in your workbook and then your course debrief, okay? Last thing to say is this week you do have, whoops, as I can do it, that'll do it. Last thing to say is this week you do have a workbook due, you have this video due, right? So get on top of your work and let's have a great semester.